GDPR. British Airways was fined because hackers stole personal and financial details of 500,000 customers through a fake website. Marriott Hotels leaked sensitive data like credit card and passport numbers of over 300 million guests. Google was fined for not clearly explaining how it used personal data and for not getting proper consent for ads. Austrian Post illegally sold consumer data, including political preferences. Deutsche Wohnen SE stored customer data longer than needed without permission. And lastly, 1&1 Telecom had weak security at its call center, letting people access customer data too easily. These cases show how important it is for companies to protect personal information. The facts of the case show how companies failed to follow GDPR rules. British Airways had a data breach where hackers stole personal and credit card details from 500,000 customers. Marriott Hotels leaked sensitive information of over 300 million guests, including passports and credit cards. Google didn't clearly explain how it used people's data and collected it without proper consent for ads. Austrian Post illegally sold personal data, including political preferences. Deutsche Wohnen SE kept customer data longer than allowed without a valid reason. 1&1 Telecom had weak security, letting people access customer data too easily through their call center. These facts of the case highlight poor protection of personal data in each instance. Under the GDPR, these cases highlight specific violations of its core principles and requirements. Number 1. British Airways failed to secure their website, allowing hackers to access sensitive customer information. Number 2. Marriott Hotels did not have enough security measures to prevent a data breach, exposing personal details of millions of guests. Number 3. Google did not clearly explain how they use people's data and failed to get proper consent for targeted advertising. Number 4. Austrian Post sold personal data, including political preferences, without permission. Number 5. Deutsche Wohnen SE kept customer data longer than necessary without a valid reason. Number 6. 1&1 Telecom had weak security, making it easy for unauthorized people to access customer data. These violations show a lack of proper data protection, consent, and security under GDPR rules. Here's what the EU courts ruled in each case. Number 1. British Airways was fined 24.6 million euros for not securing their website, which led to a data breach. Number 2. Marriott Hotels was fined 110.3 million euros for poor security that caused a leak of guest information. Number 3. Google was fined 50 million euros for not being clear about how they use people's data and not asking for proper consent for ads. Number 4. Austrian Post was fined 18.5 million euros for selling personal data, including political views, without permission. Number 5. Deutsche Wohnen SE was fined 14.5 million euros for keeping customer data longer than needed. Number 6. 1&1 Telecom was fined 9.5 million euros for weak security that allowed unauthorized access to customer data. From these cases, the main lessons for me are clear when applying the GDPR. First, it's essential for companies to focus on securing personal data because failing to do so can lead to heavy fines as required by the GDPR security measures. Second, businesses must be transparent about how they use people's data and obtain proper consent as the GDPR mandates. I also believe companies should only keep personal data for as long as necessary in line with the GDPR's data retention principles. Selling personal data without permission goes against GDPR's rules on lawful processing. Lastly, even if personal data isn't stolen, mishandling or failing to protect it can still result in penalties under the GDPR. Overall, these cases show how crucial it is for businesses to follow GDPR, protect data properly, and be accountable to avoid serious consequences.